What are you doing today?
Going to the kitchen.
What are you doing before that?
I gotta go up to US Cellular and cancel the internet account and go to the bank.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. However, it is actually kind of fun because we get to cancel the hotspot, like wireless type internet that we've had since we got here, because they finally installed fiber internet to our house. I never thought that day would come. I legitimately, when we moved here, I never thought that was a possibility because we live so remote. Yeah. But apparently it is a possibility. And it's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. I just uploaded a video this morning. I edited and uploaded a video this morning, and it took maybe 10 minutes. I don't even think it was 10 minutes. So, very pleased with it. And yeah, it's time to go take care of the boring adulting stuff, and then we will meet you back at the kitchen. We came into the kitchen to some good news. While we were gone, they delivered our new jars. We did not know that they were coming today because we had requested a scheduled delivery and they never scheduled the delivery. So we had no idea they were coming today. Thankfully, the folks who own the building, they work upstairs and they were home, they were here, and they were able to get it in the right spot. So I'm super excited about that. But now we can actually jar up all of those crocks that we have in there. So now we have something to do tomorrow. So this was started on 11/4 and the starting pH was 3.52. Right. Oh. And it is batch number 1 because it's the first batch since I started keeping track. The last batch that we made, it over acidified, so I didn't use it. Ending pH, and then what flavor it's going to be turned into, just for long-term tracking abilities. And that's about it for that. So then, you gotta take off the strap so it doesn't get all weird and gross. Why I want to switch to stainless steel. Glass is very heavy, very fragile, and temperature sensitive. So I have to do all kinds of extra measures to make sure that I don't crack these, because I have cracked one from thermal shock. And once they crack, they never go back. One thing I used to use, like masking tape, and I'd write on the masking tape and then stick it on here. But I've recently switched over just writing on it with a Sharpie, because the health department, when they were here, they didn't care that I was using the tape because it leaves behind a residue. And I was like, well, what else am I going to use? And then I was like, wait, this is glass. It'll just wash right off. So the Sharpie will, like an actual permanent marker, it'll stay on, but then it will wash off. Like, it won't just like wipe off typically unless your hands are wet. But yeah, Sharpie works and it comes right off. I feel weird. So the first time you set these straps up, it's very much like wrestling an octopus to get it in place, but as long as you don't mess up the orientation, like you just pop it off and then put it right back on in the same spot, it's easy after the first time. And then you just get it all situated, make sure all the straps are in the right place, spread out pretty evenly. Nice and snug. Voila. We had to put this on hold because it was temping too high. You really want to get down to like 85. Right now it's at 88, so it's okay. It's more ideal if we wait longer, but it's already taken like 2 hours to drop it that low. So once you put it in the glass, it takes a really long time to cool. It would have been more ideal if I left the tea concentrate in the pot, because stainless steel pulls the heat out faster. That's one of the reasons that one of many reasons that restaurants use stainless steel so much. because it helps to regulate the temperature, or it helps to pull the heat out of it faster, so you can cool stuff off better, but the glass, not so much. So, at any rate, 87.9. So, we're gonna go ahead and finish this guy off, because we already bottled up what came out of here. And so now we need to button this thing up and be done with it. It's tomorrow. I'm here so far by myself. I wanted to leave early, and Robert is having a hard time readjusting from his usual very, very late night owl sleep schedule to kind of my more morning centric schedule. He's trying hard, but you know, it's a lot. So he used to work night shifts and could stay up as late as he wanted to. I'm getting everything ready while he's waking up and taking care of the morning chores and eating some breakfast, all that kind of stuff. This thing that we just got yesterday couldn't be better timing. We're ready to start taking this thing apart. It definitely has seen better days from shipping. It's like kind of like cattywampus, like almost, it's like almost not spiraling, but it's has spiraling tendencies. So I'm honestly more nervous to open this than I was that pallet of open bottles. I am more nervous about this because it looks incredibly janky. So I know you can't get the full scale of it. So it's time to bust into this bad boy. I feel like I need a ladder and a knife. I wasn't expecting that. According to my fairly educated but still kind of rough guesstimate, we need 44.6 cases of jars. We have 15 of our old style jars, so we're taking care of those ones right now. And then, so that means we're gonna need, what is that? 29 of these cases. There's a total of 210 on here. So we should probably take it down maybe to about here, maybe here. So that'll be nice to have like a little bit more visual openness here. I don't have a knife. No matter how many times I need an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, I just never remember to bring it. Also, until we actually unloaded all of those bottles into the boxes and put them on our pallets ourselves, I never understood why every manufacturer puts the boxes on upside down. I now do, because those top flaps, when they're open, are so annoying. Ooh, I might want to wait till Robert gets here for the bulk of this. Let's see if I can become less blue. I'm very blue. That is going to be encompassing my next fairly good amount of time. I don't have to take off any of these here canning jar style jars are the ones that we have been using so far. And the reason that we started with these was because it was easily available. They sell it at a store fairly close to us, and they were reasonably priced for what was out there. And we could also just buy them by the case. So it made sense in the beginning. We tracked down the manufacturer, and we were able to order a pallet of these once we were able to. So same manufacturer, but we just switched over to this style jar. You can kind of see the difference. There's nothing inherently wrong with these jars, but they are, they give the illusion that our product is canned. And you might be like, why would anybody think that? It's a fermented food. Trust me, they do. I had to talk to, I can't even count how many people assumed that these were canned, meaning heat treated when they're not. So I wanted to find something that was not as visually assuming, made people visually assume that it was processed. So we switched over to these. We were originally going to go with the metal lids that these ones came with. They are stainless steel. I don't know what the inner painted lining is in there, but the plastic that they use for the seal is supposedly a safe plastic. It supposedly resists corrosion. This is kind of what it's going to look like with our little label on it. Just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm going to spend the next little while sanitizing all of these jars, and then I'll meet you back on the flip side when either Robert gets here or I'm ready to start jarring some stuff up, because this is going to take a while and it's really boring. idea when the battery died, but at some point it did. We are wrapping up, getting ready to go, trying to find our rhythm. I'm training Robert at the same time. So we didn't get quite as many bottled up as I had hoped, but we still got a good amount done. Well, now it's not bearded.
Afro.
He's got an afro.
Afro net.
He's got an afro regardless, but so we're gonna wrap up. We're just gonna head home. Probably I'm gonna do a bunch of office work and then we're gonna come back in the morning. Robert is going to do some work for the building owner in the fermentation room, and I'm gonna be in here doing this, and then he'll join me when he's done. But that's a wrap for today. So I will see you guys, well, we will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Right.
So if you remember, saw a video that I made about 3 weeks ago, and where I was making the cucumber kimchi, and I was talking about trying out a new method to make it to see if it would help it to retain its solidity. Failed. So cucumber kimchi is going to be forever offered as a very limited production product, because it takes too much to make it. It's going to be limited production if people want it, and it'll be a higher price because it takes a really long time to make it. So very unfortunately, this entire crock is chicken food, but
It's still good, right?
I mean, it's not poison. It's really mushy, like so mushy. It's like oatmeal.
They're freeze dried.
That's a good idea. All right, so I guess we're gonna freeze dry this in our cute freeze dryer. So stay tuned for that video, because it's perfectly fine. Like, it's just mushy. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, see, 3.37. It might settle out at 3.4. At any rate, it is significantly lower than it needs to be considered safe. I'm gonna throw this in some gallon-sized jars, and then we will freeze dry it and see what happens. Cucumber kimchi, unlike the other kimchis, don't have soy in it, so it's just a normal cleanup afterwards instead of like an allergy type cleanup, which would be much more intense. And I always do the kimchi last, so there's lots of time, and you know, me as well as other people cleaning up in between processing anything else afterwards. And eventually I would like to get to the point where either we don't use soy at all, which is, we'll find out today how feasible that is, and then or having like separate tables, separate everything, just, you know, being careful with, you know, the 9 big allergies like soy and wheat. I don't remember all the other ones, but there's 9 of them. That's what I know. We only deal with soy in our kimchi, so that's it.
Ready to lift that crock up? Are you doing it on this side here today?
Yeah.
All the processing?
Yeah, my plan was to do 2 tables when you were helping, so that like we could kind of expedite the process, and I can move this table, dry everything out while you're over here living working.
You can do it now. Yeah. What you doing?
I'm making product photos so I can have a fancy pictures on my website. Hi. And it was a golden hour, and I figured, why not right now? At least it's golden hour in this shaded spot. We got I think we have almost all the ferments. I'm taking a lot of pictures so that I can choose which angle I want. And then at the end, I'm going to take a big old group picture. And I'm freezing. Like you wouldn't believe. Mm-hmm. It is colder than you can fathom here. That is an old label. We should have put a new label on that one. So if anybody's wondering how small businesses do their product photography, this is one of many ways. Hunched over in a driveway, taking advantage of the right time of day. Sweet. Now I need a whole line photo. I'm also missing the fire chi. Okay.